Hello and welcome to this month's BigCommerce Town Hall, our Halloween edition here on October 31st. My name is Lauren Clevenger. I'm the community manager here at BigCommerce. You'll see I'm also joined by Brent Bellum, our CEO. So we've got a ton of great stuff to cover, but before we get started, I always like to take just a couple minutes here at the top and talk about our agenda and how you can participate during today's town hall. So let's look at that agenda together. So we'll start off today's town hall with a welcome from our CEO, Brent Bellum. We'll also hear from our CPO, Jimmy Duvall. Then we've got a special guest from our staff, a really great treat for you guys. We're going to hear from our BigCommerce Editor-in-Chief, Tracy Wallace, and she's going to share some really great tips to help you get ready for the holiday season that is fast approaching. Then we'll cover our latest product updates, kind of what's coming down the pipeline that you can expect. Then we'll transition to Q&A. So as always, we get some great questions from the BigCommerce community ahead of time. We'll go through those questions first with our product team answering them. And then last but not least, we'll do some live Q&A. So with whatever time we have, we'll do our best to address live questions that are submitted during today's webinar. So let's talk about how you can do that and how you can get your questions to our team. So if you're on today's town hall and you're looking for more information, maybe some clarification about a new product release that we go over, there's two ways where you can submit your question to us. Your best bet is to use the online GoToWebinar control panel. You'll see there's a little area called questions, and you can use this panel to privately chat us your questions. We'll collect, compile everything, and hopefully, like I said, address as many as possible on air. Now, with that said, we've got a ton of great content to talk to you guys about today, and a lot of folks in attendance. We had over 1,000 registrations this month, so that can make it difficult to answer every single question that's submitted, and we wish we could answer all of them on air. Might make town hall 3 hours long, but we've got a backup route. So if we're not able to address your question today on air, what you can also do is head over to the BigCommerce community. That's at forum.bigcommerce.com. Make sure to log in. It's just your same store credentials that you typically use to get into your control panel. And we've got a special dedicated area under the groups section for town hall questions. So once things wrap up today on today's webinar, we go over there and we handle all the overflow questions. We want to make sure that you're not left with any burning questions and wondering what's next with BigCommerce. So a couple more housekeeping items, and then I promise I'll pass it over to Brent and kick things off. You might have noticed that everyone is muted. All attendees are muted on today's town hall. So we want to keep things clean and easy to hear and easy to understand. So the only people that are unmuted are going to be our presenters from BigCommerce. But again, we want to hear your questions. We want to hear your thoughts or just even your comments about what you hear today. So share those with us in the questions panel or head over to the BigCommerce community. With that, let's go ahead and get started. Brent, I'll pass it over to you.
Thank you, Lauren, and happy Halloween to everybody. It's going to be a busy night, I know, in my family with 3 kids going out trick-or-treating, and I'll be dressing up in my usual holiday lederhosen for all of that. We have a lot of great content, not just from the product team as usual, but the holiday tips from our editor-in-chief, Tracy, I think will be particularly interesting to many of you. So I'm going to be brief in my introductory remarks. I just want to share a few new merchants that have launched in the last month. Sony Canada, if you want to check out them, it's a great example of a major brand creating an employee store for purchasing by their employees. Gentle Giant, cool site. Goose Creek Candles is a site that uses many of our most popular integrations, ShipperHQ, Yotpo, MailChimp, Facebook. Go check them out. Beautiful site. Next page. Schnee's is a great example of a long-standing business that has its own retail stores. They're running on Springboard Retail, which is a phenomenal point-of-sale software platform for multi-store retailers with a great integration into BigCommerce. So that's what's worth checking out there. Berlitz, the very famous foreign language learning company, is an interesting use case because they are integrated into Sitecore, which is a popular higher-end content management solution. And then Jackson Gallery is, once again, another merchant using many of our most popular apps. Now is the time, as we get close to the holidays, that a lot of our attention is going to be focused on the platform itself and making sure that it is ready to scale to the highest of holiday volume so that you don't have to worry about that. Last 3 years, we haven't had a second of downtime during the busiest Cyber Week of the season. It is absolutely our aspiration to do that again for all of you. And so hopefully you will have great holiday seasons in terms of sales and everything else. And just final note for us as a platform, growth in the last several months as we've been selling to merchants big and small has really been phenomenal. Our growth has been last couple months north of 60% in terms of sales year on year. And that includes some of the biggest and most well-known brands in the world, which we'll be sharing over time as they launch sites. Is that a debrief? Jimmy, take it away, please.
Thanks, Brent. Appreciate that. I'm also going to be really brief today. Got a short section, and I really wanted to talk about our Innovation Awards and quickly announce some of the finalists that we have. For those that have been following along, we announced our annual Innovation Award contest a month or so back. We're excited to announce that we've got our finalist pick. We'll be announcing the winners on November 13th. This is a really exciting time for us because we really get to see really who's utilizing our platform in new and creative ways. We really have 4 big categories that we're doing. The grand prize is $10,000 in cash from BigCommerce and PayPal, as well as a trip for 2 to a conference in the country of the retailer's choice. So very exciting. So really quickly to go through some of those finalists in our customer experience category, we really have 7 retailers. Everybody from Bob Johnson's Computer Stuff that sell rugged laptops to Glory Cycles, somebody that we've featured before, even last month with some of our Instagram work. Iron Lack, Sam Furniture, one of the really interesting ones, Seriously Silly Socks, a bit of a tongue twister, Silver Jewelry Club, and Restaurant Wear, who allows retail, they actually sell both to restaurants and individuals. Incredibly creative site, serving all of those little unique serving utensils and everything to folks that basically want to service restaurants and or people that are doing large parties. 2 additional categories: product innovation, Andy Swim, Dutil, Rolly, fabulous job of really showing their products in very effective and creative ways. Marketing innovation, Beer Cartel and Neon Poodle. Neon Poodle coming to us from Australia, and you already see Beer Cartel's advent calendar there. Anybody that's buying me presents this year, feel free to buy from that site. And then the last category is really, go to the next page. Yeah, thank you. The last category is really our partners. So these are the agencies that help our retailers in some cases build really dynamic and compelling sites. So we've got a bunch of retailers here, Autograph Foliages, which is a really compelling site selling artificial flowers and foliage, everything down to really flip-flop shop as well, selling incredible shops. So we're really excited about all the innovative work that's going on in the platform. All of these finalists will be pushed out on our blog so that you can take a look at their stores, get some inspiration, find those things that are working directly for them, and see how you can apply them to your store as well. So with that, be on the lookout for November 13th when we announce the finals. Now I'm very pleased to introduce Tracy Wallace, who's talked to you guys before. Tracy's our editor-in-chief for BigCommerce, and she's going to walk through some really relevant holiday tips and tricks for getting your site ready. Also thinking about email marketing, Facebook advertising going into this peak holiday season. Tracy, over to you.
Awesome. Hi. Can everyone hear me fine? I'm going to take that as a yes. Let's go to the next slide. Perfect. Yeah, let's just go to the next slide. Sorry. Perfect. So like has been explained to you already. Also, hi, everybody. Nice to be here again. And happy Halloween. So the holidays are very, very close, as I'm sure you're very well aware. And I'm sure you already actually have quite a few of your plans already put together. But wanted to hop on real quick and just remind you guys that we did survey more than 1,000 BigCommerce merchants asking them, what channels are currently working the best, which channels do you think are going to work the best for the holiday season, what kind of discounts are you using, really trying to understand what people are going to be doing for this holiday season. All of that is just really helpful for you in understanding, different strategies for your own brand, as well as helping you to benchmark a little bit against competitors. So I'm going to walk through a couple of the top level findings and give you some tools that you can use right now to go ahead and get started. Also, before we go on to the next slide, whoops. One more. Yeah, at the bottom of all of these, you're going to see a link over to the blog or maybe another section of the site. I do have to run through this decently quickly, but in the case that you want to go through and do some more research, all of this information that I'm going through lives at these URLs, and I'll have a final slide that go over those as well. So let's go ahead and hop over. Perfect. So in the survey, it came out that email marketing and Facebook advertising, I know those words are very, very small. Again, there's more information at that link, but that's email campaigns and Facebook advertising were the two channels that people are expecting to produce the most revenue for them over the holiday season. That's because those are the channels that are working the best right now. As a matter of fact, email marketing has been the #1 channel for e-commerce brands for as long as e-commerce has been a thing. Facebook advertising trumped it, not by very much, as you can see, but it is currently trumping it just a little bit in terms of the channel that is producing the most revenue. So if your Facebook ads aren't working for you, that's definitely an area you need to dive into a little bit more and really understand how they can work for you. Going to have a few tips for you, but we're going to start with email campaigns first. So let's head on over to the next slide. Perfect. So holiday email marketing tips. So one, my very first tip for you is go and look at what other people are doing. You do not have to go through and sign up for a million of your competitors or other brands' emails. You can go use this fabulous little company called MailCharts, and that link right there. For free, it will allow you to track, I believe it's up to 5 or 10 different brands, and they'll show you historically, oh no, I guess the paid version shows you historically. It's like $99 a month. Not too terribly bad if you really want to do a bunch of research. Also, you can pay just for 1 month or get a free month to kind of test out there. But you can track 5 different brands overall and see about 3 months back in terms of what they've been doing with their email campaigns. That'll tell you how often they're sending them. It'll show you what they look like. It's a super, super helpful tool. I have some images in the upcoming slides that I actually pulled from that tool. So I know it works for sure. I use it for myself. And then the 3 streams that every online store needs to have, if you don't have these, definitely look into getting those set up before Thanksgiving, when a bunch of people are going to begin shopping like en masse, Thanksgiving, Black Friday, and Cyber Monday. So that's your welcome email stream, your promotional stream, and your abandoned cart stream. I'll walk through in just a second what a good welcome email stream looks like and what a good promotional stream looks like. And then I just listed a few tools here. These are some of the tools that I hear merchants talk about most often. And when I say merchants, I'm talking about BigCommerce merchants. I do our case study program as well. So I'm talking to about 3 to 5 different BigCommerce merchants every single week. These are the ones that I hear most often. So Klaviyo, Happy Email, Springbot, and MailChimp. And then again, we did publish some content on exactly how to set up these campaigns. You can follow that link right down there to do that. But let's go look at what a really great welcome email looks like. So again, another fun shout out for MailCharts here, just because they saved my life and finding a bunch of emails, and I know they'll be able to do the same for you. This is Tommy John's welcome email stream, which is just genius. One, as soon as someone signs up for their email, they send an email that says, hey, welcome, this is who we are, this is what we believe in, and then also offers a discount. I know you can't actually see that, but that red button is a discount there. Then a couple days later, when they realize that you haven't used that discount, they send another email really bringing up that promotional information to the top. Why are they doing that? Because the quicker that you can convert someone over to a customer, well, one, people who actually buy from you ultimately buy from you more often. So the first goal is to get them to buy from you. So that's what they're trying to do, is get someone to ultimately buy, get a product in their hand, and begin building lifetime value that way. So they raise that percent off up, and then they also break it down into categories down here in case people want to shop a little bit more on their own. A couple of days later, when they see you still haven't taken that action, they're like, okay, maybe they don't really understand who we are and why we're better. So here we go. We're comfortable. We're clever. This is how we're better. This is how we break it down. This is how we make it. Really trying to explain the background of that brand. And then again, finally, they're like, all right, this is the last chance you have. It's a 20% discount this time. And then you can see a little bit up there. There's a countdown in there that's really trying to play upon, it's the fear of missing out and scarcity. It's one of the best psychological triggers you can use to get people to take an action. Putting a time limit on something and really helping them to realize that they aren't going to be able to use this for a long time. So again, that's just a good example of a welcome stream that you can use MailCharts to find more. And then this is an example of a promotional email stream from last holiday season. This is Ginny's Ice Cream. So you can see here I've broken it out pre-Black Friday and post-Black Friday. So leading up to the Thanksgiving holiday, this is what they started producing. So one, started putting out emails that show a Shop Our Holiday gift guide that's shooting them off to a collection over on their BigCommerce website. Can allow people to shop there. They're also at the bottom calling it their Thanksgiving collection and really trying to tie things into the fall season with flavors. Then on that next email, they're continuing to call it out, right? So additional links, different images, really trying to get people to engage. And then right before Thanksgiving, they're showing you again the Thanksgiving collection, order now in order to get it here for Thanksgiving. After that happens, they flip. And now they're back. Now they're over to Christmas. You can see in that last email over there, they have order now for holiday delivery. That's also the very first thing that's on top of that first email after post Black Friday, really trying to remind people that, hey, this is the shipping deadline. If you don't buy before now or before this date, you're not going to be able to get it. Again, you're really trying to reinforce that FOMO and scarcity psychological trigger, putting a time limit on it and just reminding people that something's coming up. Next slide. Cool. So holiday Facebook advertising tips. So your goal here is to increase holiday sales and continue to increase your return on ad spend. So that's making sure that once you actually get somebody in from a Facebook ad, that person spends as much money and time with you as possible. So you really increase their lifetime value. So we're going to walk through a few things here, but what you need to be doing in your Facebook advertising in general is one, bundling products. We can talk about that in just a little bit more, or in just a little bit. Use videos and customer testimonials in your ads. BigCommerce even does this. I make like a video for our blog almost every single week, promoting blog posts on Facebook, and that's just because videos are doing crazy well on Facebook. People like to engage with them. They might not even watch them, which is why you need to have the captions on there, but they are scrolling through and they do tend to get more clicks and they're favored by Facebook's algorithm. So use videos as often as you can. It doesn't have to be crazy professional. Show your face, let your customers know who you are, and then match your product page to your offer and use psychological triggers. I walk through all of this in an hour-long workshop that you can find at this link down here. Completely free workshop, just got to drop your email in there and we'll get you in the stream and get that out to you as soon as possible. It seems to be working really well for a lot of people. But let's cover some bundled products in that product page real quick, just to give you a little tip before we go. Cool. So product page is a landing page. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar. Tech companies like BigCommerce use landing pages a lot to try to get someone to take an action. It often means that you remove the navigation and have one major CTA on there. A lot of e-commerce brands are using their product pages as landing pages. So they're not removing the navigation by any means, but they are using psychological triggers and major calls to action to really try to increase conversion. So instead of someone going to your home page and finding their way down the funnel, they're landing on a landing page and ideally just immediately dropping into your funnel and becoming a conversion. So it means your Facebook ad copy needs to match what's on your landing page / product page. Bonset Goff has done a really great job here showing off just multiple psychological triggers. So making sure that discount is highly visible. BigCommerce does this for you automatically. You just got to drop it in regular price versus sales price on sale price on your product page. You can also type in there under availability. He makes it very clear that there's very high demand here, and he also calls out the deal down here. A couple reasons why bundles are really important. One, you make more money on bundles. You're selling 2 products. You can also show off a major discount for 2 rather than 1. The goal here is to increase the perceived value. The perceived value increases when you have multiple products rather than just discounting a single product, which is ultimately going to eat further into your margins than combining does. Bundling 2 or 3 products is one of the quickest ways to increase conversions and revenue. Yes, ultimately, you're going to lose a little bit on margins here, but you're going to get a customer in more quickly than you would have before. And then at that point, you're going to rely on your email marketing to increase your return on ad spend and your customer lifetime value. You can also use your BigCommerce insights to see what products you should bundle. You just go back there, look at the products that are most often bought together. Those are probably good tests to try. Let's go to the next page. Perfect. So again, I walk through all of this in a workshop. It's an hour long, but you can, once you get the link, you'll be able to play it and replay it as many times as you want. But in that workshop, we cover how to build cash flow immediately with pre-orders, how to bundle products to maximize ROI, how to engage with your audience to turn them into fans, and then how to automate your way to high customer lifetime value and return on ad spend. Both of those things very much related. And then here are the 3 links, next slide, that we've covered today. Oh no, oh, whoa, sorry, I ended too early. Okay, so this is discounts. These are the discounts that people are gonna be using for the holiday season. So 1, free shipping with minimum order value. Almost everybody's doing this. You should be doing this. Your competitors will be doing it. You can see here that not a lot of people are doing product bundling. It's one of the big reasons why it's so effective right now, especially with Facebook advertising. And then flash sales are always really effective during the holiday season, especially when you combine that with email marketing, because it plays on a natural psychological trigger, which is the FOMO, fear of missing out. If you don't get it today, it won't be here tomorrow. Be sure you're using that copy in your emails. And next slide. Perfect. Okay, here's the 3 links. Again, a holiday e-commerce link right there is just going to show you all the data that we collected, what other people are doing. The holiday email marketing guide is going to walk you through how to set everything up. And then that Grow BigCommerce webinar is going to walk you through an hour-long education on how to set up Facebook advertising to make it work for you. That's it.
Hey, Tracy, this is Lauren. Before we move on to some product updates, I've got one quick question for you about welcome emails that I was hoping that you could answer for us. One of our merchants wrote in and asked, should welcome streams be paused during Cyber Weekend so that promotional messages are the only emails customers are receiving rather than being bombarded with both a welcome stream email and a promotional email?
Yeah, no, it's a great question. I would actually, I would create a specific Cyber Week welcome email that includes both the promotion as well as welcoming them and introducing your brand. Introducing your brand is important because that's how over time you're going to build customer lifetime value. Your goal isn't just to increase sales during the holidays, it's to increase sales and then turn as many of those people who bought into customers further down the line. So just take a little bit of extra time, combine your welcome stream with what you have going on promotionally, even if it's a 1 email stream like, hey, this is who we are, hey, this is what you can expect over the holidays, that should be helpful.
All right, that's a great tip. And with that, I think we'll hand things off to the product team. Thanks, Tracy.
Bye, guys.
Thank you, Tracy. Tons of great information. All right, let's keep rolling. So we've got Troy, Tim, and Raul. Troy's going to go through some really important updates around payments with PayPal, PayPal Credit, some Visa checkout work. Tim is then going to talk a little bit more about some of the payments items with Vantif. Raul is then going to go in and talk about some updates for eBay and Amazon for the holiday season, as well as Facebook. And then Troy will come back and finish up with some enhancements around checkout and shipping before we get to your live Q&A. So Troy, take it away.
Great, thank you, Jimmy. Greetings from Sydney, Australia, everyone, which is where I am this week. First up, PayPal Credit. And I know this is something we've mentioned in the last couple of town halls, but as this is fully rolled out now, I thought we'd give it one last mention. PayPal Credit is effectively a buy now, pay later solution, meaning that your customers can complete their purchase without having to pay at the time they make the purchase, right? So it's a revolving line of credit effectively. As the retailer, there's no risk to you. PayPal pays you immediately after your shoppers completed their order. This is effectively an additional payment method on top of 2 of our existing payment solutions. Those are PayPal Express Checkout and PayPal powered by Braintree. So if you're using either of those PayPal solutions, head to the payment section inside your control panel and you'll see a new option there to, it's just an on-off toggle to add PayPal Credit. Turning that on, we will immediately add the new PayPal Credit button into your storefront. You can see it there in the screenshot, that blue and white button in the bottom right-hand corner. And it's really that easy. And this is available exclusively in the new optimized one-page checkout. It's also great because it allows people to pay on credit. What merchants typically see is that it increases the basket size, so the order size, and also lets you attract new customers, increasing conversion because of the nature of that product. So that's the update on PayPal Credit. Actually, related to PayPal Credit, something that's brand new from PayPal, exclusive to BigCommerce at the moment, and that is an app from a single-click app that's in our App Store at the moment. Effectively, when you install this app, it adds a little promotional message, an overlay in the top of your storefront that promotes PayPal Credit as an available payment option for your shoppers, and again, so helping you increase conversion in your checkout. It also has some really neat analytics feature to give you some information and insights about how your storefront is performing. If you're interested in using this, just head to our App Store, search for PayPal. You'll see it's the first app that comes up, and it's like I said, a single-click app, very easy to install. Next up, Visa Checkout. So Visa Checkout, we just launched this about a week ago. We're seeing incredible interest and demand for this. It is a digital wallet solution, and the benefit of this is that it reduces friction in your checkout, increased conversion, and particularly on mobile, where of course a shopper has to enter shipping and payment details and credit card details. What Visa Checkout does is allow shoppers to store their payment and shipping details in their wallet. When they come to your site, you can see the Pay with Visa Checkout button there. They log into Visa Checkout, they choose their payment and shipping details. It automatically populates those details in your checkout, and with just a few clicks, allows them to check out. This is an additional payment method that's available currently on PayPal powered by Braintree. We will bring this to other providers in the future. If you're interested in using this, again, just head to your payment section inside our control panel. If you're using PayPal powered by Braintree, and you'll see an extra toggle there to enable Visa Checkout, and it's that simple. And that's the update on Visa Checkout. Credit card vaulting. So this is something that many of you have requested. It's a top feature request, and pleased to share a brief update on that now. This is essentially a call out to you if you're interested in participating in our upcoming beta. So what is this? Some of you have probably seen this on retail sites that you've purchased at in the past. It effectively allows your shoppers to optionally store their credit card information with your payment provider. So none of this payment information will ever be stored with BigCommerce. It's stored natively with your payment provider. So it's all PCI compliant and very secure. And then the next time they come through your checkout, they don't have to enter the payment details. They just need to, as you can see there in the screenshot, choose one of their saved cards out of the list. And again, reducing friction and improving conversion in your checkout. We will do this natively and initially with PayPal powered by Braintree and CyberSource and Authorize.net, and then additional providers will follow. Like I said, this is a call out for people interested in participating in our beta later this year. So you can see the details there on the screen. If you are interested, we'd love to have you join. And again, this will be exclusive in our new optimized one-page checkout. So that's the update on vaulting. And with that, I will turn it over to Tim, who will share an update around Vantiv. Thank you, Tim.
Thanks, Troy. Hey, everyone. This is Tim. It's great to be with all of you today. I'm super excited to announce that we now have support on the platform for Vantiv's e-commerce payment gateway. So for those who might not be familiar, Vantiv is the #1 US merchant acquirer in total transactions. So we're really excited to have them on the platform now. A few more details about it. So the e-commerce payment gateway is available for our enterprise level merchants with 3 million GMV or greater. And one of the really cool things about Vantiv is that they provide both the payment gateway and the merchant account, which translates for you to, it means eliminating additional fees and also additional unnecessary points of failure. So it's a really cool integration. A few other key features, we've got a dedicated team on the Vantiv side who does customized merchant onboarding. They've got fraud protection, chargeback management, and 24/7 support. One other note, around it is that we have opened up the e-commerce payment gateway on our optimized one-page checkout. For those who may not qualify for the e-commerce payment gateway, we're in the middle of a multi-phased integration with Vantiv, so stay tuned for more details. We'll be opening up the Vantiv core payment gateway in early 2018. Thanks so much.
So let's chat about eBay. We talked about the holiday season. What I want to do is think about if you are a merchant who's been wanting to get started on eBay, and you know, as we approach the holiday season, we're trying to make it easier for you to get started. And if you're already on eBay and you want to add new products to the eBay catalog, what we've done, kind of similar to what we shared with Amazon's update last time around, now what you can do is you have your catalog in BC and BigCommerce, and you have kind of unique way of naming your options, right? Your product options. But eBay or Amazon expect that in a particular schema, if you will, or particular way that they've structured in. For a long time, we know it's been a challenge for you to say that, well, I've named it this way, but eBay expects it this way. So what we've done is you can now map your BC BigCommerce options to the way eBay expects them. All you do is you go based on the category or subcategory you're listing to in eBay. All you do is say, you know what? Let's say if I have, let's say if I'm selling T-shirts and I've named my option in BigCommerce as let's shirt color, but you know eBay expects just the option name of color. You can say, cool, my BC option of shirt color actually matches color on eBay, and that's all you do. You do this for your categories and subcategories, and just let us do the rest. And behind the scenes, we do some smarts and just list it in the right way in the format that eBay expects. This is the quickest and fastest way to fulfill the requirements that eBay has. If you go to the next slide, what's interesting is, you know, there'll be a lot of times, let's say again, if you're selling T-shirts and for a particular category of T-shirts, you're only selling just your options are only based on color and not sizes, or the other way around. That's fine. What we've done is we've given you the ability to add a custom value. So let's say if eBay expects, you know, size and color on T-shirts, and you don't have one of those options, all you say is, you know what, just let me add a custom value for this option. And again, so we're trying to keep what you have to do in BigCommerce separate from what eBay, or like I shared in the past, Amazon would expect. So this is super powerful. If you've been thinking about how do I not in many ways mess up my storefront or my e-commerce site just so that I can make it work for eBay, this is the key to doing that. You keep those both of those kind of, if you will, channels separate, and the settings for those channels separate in many ways. This is another thing that's come up. We've heard this come out a lot from our customer support calls and the tickets we see. So eBay, again, just like any other marketplace, many times can expect a lot of values, a lot of fields that for a long time you've probably never entered in your catalog just because your focus has been on your e-commerce site. But you've probably heard a lot of people on this town hall talk about how marketplaces are a really good way to find new shoppers, because shoppers are starting about a lot of their product discovery on those marketplaces. As about 46% of product discovery and searches start on marketplaces. So you have to think about eBay and Amazon as places you want to expand your business as you grow. But the key is, how do you do that with minimal investment and minimal resources? Things like this is what we focus on releasing to help you with that. So what this one does is, let's say if eBay has 10 required fields, and those fields are not something you've had as part of your core catalog, all you do is you come into the product and we'll show you based on the category or subcategory as to what those required and optional fields are. The required ones, if you don't have a value, you can add a custom value. Sometimes we'll also pull in some recommended data from eBay and say, hey, this is what eBay could be you could put on eBay and benefit from an SEO standpoint. So check this out if you've been kind of in many ways sometimes overwhelmed with how to get started with eBay. We've just made it easier for you. So definitely go check it out. All right, so talking about Amazon, this is one of my most exciting updates, I would say, for Amazon that we've been talking about. If you are a merchant selling on Amazon already, so if you have a Seller Central account and you have a product in your Seller Central account, and the SKU that you have in Seller Central matches your SKU in BigCommerce, what this allows you to do is create a link between those two products and not worrying about pushing all the catalog data for your product to Amazon again. Why is this important? Amazon, it's a complex marketplace. So if you've already tried selling there and you have your SKU there, what we're saying is just tell us that you want to link the BC product and Amazon product. Anytime you attempt to list a product from BigCommerce to Amazon and we find a SKU match, we create a link. After that, all you have to do is you can start managing your price, your pricing updates, any inventory updates, all from BigCommerce, and we'll propagate those changes to Amazon. Amazon looks at a lot of the data that you send, so catalog price, your description, the SKUs, the UPCs, a lot of that, and then decides that if they feel that this is a match. But if they see a SKU match between your Seller Central account and your BigCommerce account, it's the cleanest link you'll ever find. Why is this exciting? This is a very unique and innovative solution that we've rolled out, because once you go into the product list, you can select 200 products. And if you turn this setting on, that yes, if a SKU match is found, link those products, all those 200 products for the most part, unless something, some exceptional cases happen, you should be able to link those products and link them pretty easily. So definitely check it out. It is in beta. If you are interested, email us at amazonbeta@bigcommerce.com. We're taking in beta requests up until mid next week. So definitely reach out to me if you're interested. Super excited about this, especially as you go into holiday season. This is the easiest way to get listings live, the ones that you already have on Seller Central, and start managing them from BigCommerce. All right, so Tracy talked about Facebook quite a bit. What I want to talk about is some enhancements to the Facebook shop channel settings in BigCommerce. One of the things you couldn't do up until now was, let's say if you have access to 4 or 5 Facebook pages that you own, you had to disconnect and then come back to access another page. What we do now by default is show you all the pages that you have access to. Now, when I say the word access, that's also an enhancement. Up until now, you were seeing quite a few pages that you were not an admin on, and that was not a lot of value. So what we've done is we show you the pages that you have admin access to, so that you can actually control the settings for those pages directly from BigCommerce. And the other thing that we've rolled out is you can actually control the visibility settings for these pages, because you have the admin access now, if it's hidden or published directly from BigCommerce. Another way to save you some time that you're not having to go to Facebook, and you do it all from the BigCommerce control panel. So Tracy talked about Facebook, talked about ads. We all know the importance of those things. So we've made it easier for you to actually discover Facebook ads and how to set up Facebook ads. Now you'll see this new section within the Facebook channel manager settings. You'll see this option if you want to add the Facebook ads app. So if you're not using it, this is one of the easiest things you can do to juice more of your kind of marketing and choose more of the products you already have as part of your Facebook catalog. Just install the Facebook ads app, and it's a pretty easy listing experience from there. That is all I have for kind of updates on external channels that can help you increase your sales, and over to optimize one-page checkout.
Great, thank you, Rahul. A quick update on the new optimized one-page checkout. So, one of the goals of the new checkout is to, of course, improve conversion. And in the last town hall, I mentioned some work that we're doing to reduce clicks, particularly around the shipping step. And so I'm happy to report that in the next couple of weeks, we'll be releasing a new option to reduce the number of clicks around shipping. Effectively, that option is to specify a default for shipping, so that when your shopper goes through checkout, we will automatically select the most appropriate shipping option so that they can zoom through the shipping step. You can see there on the screen on the left-hand side, you will be able to configure one of 4 options. The first option being, no, I don't want to auto default. A couple options there around least expensive, and then a most expensive option. So one call out here is that if you're a retailer that has a physical presence and you offer the ability to pick up in store, which is typically a free option, There's an option here that says, choose the least expensive option, excluding pickup in store. Now for this to work, we've introduced a new shipping option in Shipping Manager. You can see it there on the right-hand side, a new pickup in store option. So if you configure your pickup in store shipping method using that new option, now in the new optimized one-page checkout, you can exclude that from the default shipping selector. This is, we've done the engineering work on this. We're just finalizing testing on it now, and we hope to have this in your hands in the next week or two. And so that's the update on the new optimized one-page checkout. And the last topic I want to talk about is something that you very rarely need, but when you need it, it's super important. And that's the topic of business continuity, and more specifically around shipping. A couple weeks ago, we launched this, and it's the ability to configure some shipping methods on the platform so that when we're unable to make contact with, in that rare instance where we're unable to make contact with Shipper HQ, we will automatically and very quickly fall back to these fallback shipping methods. And so what that means is that you never have a scenario where your shopper can't complete checkout because we're unable to contact Shipper HQ. Like I said, hardly ever happens. It's incredibly rare, but when you need it, it's super important. So this is available now. If you are using Shipper HQ, just head to the shipping section in the control panel. You'll see the section there called Advanced Fallback Shipping Methods. These are effectively the native shipping methods on the platform, and when you configure those, we'll automatically fall back to them when we need to. And so that's the update on fallback shipping methods.
Okay, great. Let's take a look at some of the questions we received from our community. And Troy, I think I'm just going to possibly keep you in the hot seat maybe the whole time. I think you are going to have the answers that we're looking for here. So our first question, so this is something that maybe has been talked about before, but we're just looking for, this merchant's looking for any updates on revamping the discount system within BigCommerce and kind of what the progress is there.
Yeah, and this kind of follows on to some of the things that Tracy was talking about, how important the promotion system is. We've actually made a ton of investment in the promotion system over the last 12 to 18 months. You can now schedule your discount rules. You can target them to specific customer groups. We added a whole bunch more discount rules. There are a couple more things we want to do. One of those being we want to, today we've got coupon codes and we've got discount rules. Really those two things are the same. Coupon codes just have this extra unique code that you need to apply to actually invoke the discount as opposed to automatically invoking it. So we want to bring these two things together into a single system. And the other thing we want to do is create a system of conditions, a library of conditions and a library of actions, and let you, as the retailer, construct any combination of conditions and actions, effectively allowing you to create custom discount rules. So we're doing a lot of foundational work in the background to make those things possible. And it's a high priority for us to get that out in the first half of next year. So still in our plans, currently working on it, coming out early next year.
All right, that's a great update. Next question, we've had a lot of, especially in the community, a lot of excitement about Afterpay in Australia. So this merchant wants to know, recently Afterpay expanded to New Zealand, and they want to know if that's part of our roadmap and part of our plans is to also move Afterpay into New Zealand for BigCommerce.
Yeah, so we are talking to Afterpay about this. We've learned that it is effectively an entirely new integration. It's not just a matter of saying, here, taking our existing integration and enabling New Zealand, unfortunately. So it is a little bit of work there. So we're in discussions with them. I don't have a timeline yet, but something we would like to do at some stage.
All right, so our next question, kind of basically to distill it down, the question is, would BigCommerce consider adding the bin picking numbers to the order view and the control panel? That would save this merchant a lot of time and a lot of paper that they're printing out and trying to connect the dots.
I'm all for saving paper and time. Great feedback. To my knowledge, this is not on the roadmap at the moment, but let me take this back to the team. I think it's really great feedback, makes total sense. So let me take that back to the team.
Okay. Next up, does BigCommerce have any plans to overhaul the reports functionality? Specifically, this merchant is talking about wanting better capabilities around SKUs.
Yeah, definitely we want to do this, and it's our intent to do this. There is a bunch of work happening in the background now to lay the foundation for this in the future. I don't have timelines to report now, but the intent is there to do this. A range of reports based around SKU level reporting.
All right, next up, as we all know, holiday season is creeping up upon us. This merchant is specifically asking around a known issue with taxes. They've got a request in, are wanting to be able to calculate tax before discounts are applied. So they're looking for any updates on what's going on there.
Yeah, so call out here to anyone who can help us identify use cases where this makes sense. In our understanding and the guidance and advice we've been given is that this is not legal in most tax jurisdictions, and so not something we've done. We're keen to understand the areas where this makes sense and applies, and that will help us. Once we can understand that, that will help us to kind of define what this feature might look like. Because typically taxes are applied after the discount, and that's typically required by law in most tax jurisdictions. So call out to the community to share more information about where this makes sense.
Sure, and I think this question was originally asked in the community, so we can always follow up and try to get more information there so we can make sure we're understanding it right.
Perfect.
Okay, let's see what we've got next. We just talked about Shipper HQ. We're back on it. This merchant specifically saying, hey, a lot of new features are great. They've been added to Shipper HQ. So when are we getting them for BigCommerce?
Perfect. A couple features that we've added recently. One is the fallback shipping methods, which I just spoke about a few moments ago, available now to anybody who's using Shipper HQ. The other one that I think announced in the last town hall was SKU level dimensional shipping. So again, available now to all merchants using Shipper HQ, but it's the ability to specify dimensions, so length, width, and height, as well as weight at the SKU level, and have Shipper HQ honor those when they're calculating packaging and shipping. And you can also, the 3 custom fields that we support for Shipper HQ are now also available at the SKU level. So when you edit SKUs in the BigCommerce control panel or use our import, export, or APIs, those 3 extra fields are now available at the SKU level.
Okay, next question. So this merchant has a question around orders that get automatically tagged as suspicious. So they want to know if we would ever consider in the future improving this functionality and implementing a way for merchants to be able to kind of clear out tags that are incorrect in the system.
Yeah, good feedback. In full transparency, I don't believe this is currently on our roadmap. Sorry, but again, I'll take this back to the team. I think this is really good feedback. So thank you.
Okay, next up, are there any updates to the issue affecting Shipping Manager not displaying more than 20 shipping zones? And maybe Troy, you can give us a little background to the specific issue.
Yeah, for everyone's benefit, this is referring to a very rare issue affecting a small number of merchants. It's taken us a little while to figure out what was going on, so we had to introduce some additional logging. The good news is the logging has uncovered the problem, and so we have a hypothesis about what's going on. The team are working on it now. The goal is to get this out, a fix out to this as soon as possible. And I would expect that, well, we don't have a specific timeline. My expectation is that we'll have this fixed in the next week or so. So, yeah.
Okay. We've got 2 more pre-submitted questions, then we'll head into the live Q&A. We've got, will PayPal Credit be enabled to work with PayPal Payments Pro, the PayFlow edition? Those are mouthfuls.
Yeah, it is indeed. There's a bunch of PayPal products. We We only really have plans to bring PayPal Credit to PayPal Powered by Braintree and PayPal Express Checkout. Now, for this particular scenario, I've spoken to the team at PayPal and our internal team that helps, that kind of manages our PayPal account. And we do have programs that allow you to upgrade or migrate, if you will, from PayPal Pro Payflow Edition to PayPal Powered by Braintree, including the preservation of negotiated rates if you have those. And so we would either refer you back to, if you have a PayPal account manager, refer you back to them to inquire about how to do that. Or if you like, you can email accountservices@bigcommerce.com and we can assist with that. So again, that's accountservices@bigcommerce.com, and we'll help with the upgrade or migrations to PayPal Powered by Braintree. And the added benefit of switching to Braintree is that not only will you get PayPal Credit, but as you saw early in the presentation, you will get Visa Checkout, Apple Pay, and other features that are exclusive to PayPal Powered by Braintree.
Okay. All right, last question. Will Stripe be coming to New Zealand?
The short answer is yes. And we hope to have this out by the end of the year. So stay tuned. We'll announce it on a town hall when it's available, but coming soon.
All right. We've got just about 10 minutes left, so let's switch to live Q&A. All right, first up, we've got a question about Stencil. So are there plans to add the ability to upload images via the Stencil theme editor?
I can go ahead.
Try.
No, either way. The reality is yes. We're making a ton of investment here. You'll start to see some of that come into play early next year. We've got a lot to share here. It'll be coming out kind of in chunks as we move into 2018, but absolutely we're making a lot of investments here to manage both your content, your images, how you actually manage and edit and control your storefront. So certainly lots of work being done here. And as we go into 2018, we'll certainly share a lot more.
Great. Roel, I've got a question for you on omni-channel selling. If you want to come alive and turn your mic on, thank you. So this question is there an update on the inability to switch back to the old product view after disconnecting from channel manager channels?
Yeah, so that is a bug. We looked into it late last week, and we will be putting some effort early next week to fix it. So expect that to be it should be a very separate experience if you are using an additional channel to sell. So yeah, that shouldn't be happening. We'll be on it next week.
All right, you heard it here first. Thanks, Roel. Next question, we'll go back to card vaulting, which is something we talked about there at the beginning of Town Hall. And Troy, if you could take this one, we'd like to know if BigCommerce will have additional payment gateways that support card vaulting.
The answer is yes. We will, like most things we try to do on the platform, we try to bring the most amount of value to the most amount of merchants. So we'll kind of just start with the most popular gateways and go down the list. I don't have the exact list to share with you now, but in future town halls we will. But do know that we'll get the most popular gateways on the platform supported with vaulting.
Fantastic. Next up, when transitioning from Blueprint to Stencil, is there a conversion process or path that would allow a merchant to, say, create a production site that could be made live when all the changes are done? Particularly, they call out, really kind of being wary of making changes in a live environment and wanting to make sure that process goes smoothly.
Can totally appreciate that. Indeed, there is a way to do this, and most people who have migrated from Blueprint to Stencil have done it this way, and that's to use our Stencil developer tools called Stencil CLI. When you use those tools, it actually includes what we call an offline dev environment. It's basically the ability for you to run your Stencil storefront on your local machine while bringing in the live product catalog from your live BigCommerce store. This was a world first when we launched it. I think it still is. It's a really great feature of Stencil, and it's available, like I said, in our Stencil CLI developer tools. If you're uncomfortable or unfamiliar with those tools, we've got partners that can help with that. If you head to our expert area of our website or call into our client success team, I'm sure we can direct you to someone that can help with that.
Okay, so next up, is there any further update or a firmer timeline for integrating MailChimp's abandoned cart email feature with the existing MailChimp BigCommerce integration?
Yeah, so we're working very closely with MailChimp now. We actually just chatted with them earlier today. We don't have an ETA yet, but working very closely with them. We understand collectively, both with MailChimp and ourselves, that there's a lot of urgency here. So expect an update relatively soon, but certainly working very closely to get that out to you guys.
Great, that's great news. And next up, we see a lot of questions on this nature in the community. This is about the blog. So what are plans for the future around the blog component of BigCommerce? Are there any plans to make it more of a hub to kind of better produce and publish content?
Yeah, so a lot of work going on behind the scenes here. I mentioned a little bit earlier around some of the image components here. We're doing a few things. One is certainly helping actually create an environment where you can more easily edit the contents of your storefront, your pages themselves, without having to go into an HTML editor in order to do so. So that's one, inclusive of image management. But there's another big component here, which is content. So we're doing some exciting things here, both with an integrated native experience to edit that content within the BigCommerce area, but also working externally with the likes of WordPress and others to really help integrate both a traditional blog into BigCommerce and or even leverage that CMS system, WordPress or other, to actually produce and manage the content that exists within your storefront. So a lot here, a little bit early to comment in total details, but some exciting stuff going on. And as we move into 2018, a lot of great information that we'll be sharing around this particular area. So stay tuned. That
is very exciting news. I know a lot of merchants will be happy to hear that. Next up, let's kind of switch focus and talk a little B2B. This question is, has there been any progress on adding wholesale pricing at the product level? At the present, we can only offer this by flat percentage off rates using customer groups, which really isn't ideal as margins can vary across product lines. Product level trade wholesale pricing would be much more powerful.
Yeah, we hear you loud and clear. We've got good news here. Coming in early 2018, we'll be releasing some functionality we're calling price lists, really helping with this sort of use case, wholesale, B2B, really being able to control prices at a customer group level, and frankly, an interface enabling you to do so, both with user experience as well as an API. We've got some very limited kind of closed testing going on as we speak. But some really thrilling experiences here coming to you in early 2018. I think you'll be really proud of the work we've done and looking forward to getting it out to you guys.
Okay, let's see. I'm trying to keep an eye on the time. We've got so many great questions. So let's try to maybe tackle a couple, 2 or 3 more very quickly before we wrap up. The next question is back to kind of themes and design. So with BigCommerce focusing more and more on Stencil, this merchant wants to know if BigCommerce is ever going to offer migration services for themes from Blueprint to Stencil. They're getting quotes from developers that are sometimes exorbitant amounts of money, and it seems like an expense that can be a lot to take on to move over to this new framework. So wondering if you guys can kind of speak to that process of migration.
Yeah, we've had a lot of experience with customers making that move. There's actually a lot of really good content on our blog and within our community forums around how to do this effectively. I would actually leverage our Ask a Design Partner community group. It's a forum that's out there in our community. And frankly, it's an open forum that really allows you to get an honest and open set of feedback from the design community themselves and those partners that can help you do it before. And giving it as kind of in a public forum, it really does help kind of level that playing field. But certainly reach out to us either via our support services team. We can help connect you with the right folks, also leveraging our community. I think there's a lot of great content there.
Okay, great. I said one more question, so I'm going to squeeze in one more before we say goodbye. Springbot has advised that the optimized checkout does not currently provide enough API access for their abandoned cart system. Are there plans to update this so that it works better? And if so, what is the time frame that we would be looking at here?
Yeah, absolutely. We have some incredible news to share. Going into 2018, the new optimized checkout will have a whole new level of API support. We're working actually kind of behind the scenes with a lot of those partners, inclusive of Springbot, to really make sure that they're integrated well into the new optimized checkout, and it's supported in a way that really allows them to carry forward via supported APIs. So a lot of great news here. Stay tuned going into early 2018, some exciting news to share around our checkout APIs.
All right, fantastic. So what's next? If we didn't get to your question today, we sincerely apologize. We wish Town Hall could be 3 hours long, but that might be a little much. But please join us in the community. We'd love to pick up the conversation there. You can see you just want to go to the BigCommerce Town Hall group under forum.bigcommerce.com. Brent, any parting words that you want to send us off to this spooky Halloween day and say thank you?
Best wishes to everybody as you prepare for the holidays, and hope they get off to a great start by the next time we see each other in the town hall. Thanks for joining.
Thanks, guys.